like, hey, what poppin' in? Gon' pop it for me cause I'm rich and poppin' in, yeah. Drill, little bit. Let me feel myself a little bit. Little bit. You ain't talking big. Get out my way, little bit. She gon' put it on me, that's a lot of it. 4 coops, 4 seasons, drop the top a bit. Bust down, but my wrist, time to talk a lot of. I got both my.
Today, from CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington, Brandon McManus to kick off its week 8 of the NFL on EA Sports.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Russell Wilson leads out the Seattle Seahawks offense. The veteran Wilson, a third-round pick back in 2012.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass. They didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
4 yards.
The numbers for Sanders last week, 21 carries, 80 yards.
And as we discovered in talking with the coaching staff prior to the game, going up against a team that struggled against the run has only emboldened them to run.
It's caught inside the 25. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken in the end zone. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. At a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
After seeing what he did last week, throwing 4 touchdown passes, I had to go to my thesaurus to try and come up with some great words for what he did. I'm still coming up blank. He was scintillating.
I'm going simple. I don't have your thesaurus. I'm going dynamite. He was dynamite.
I'll take it.
That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. It's really, really hard for a running back to think to himself, I probably should have just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
He's going to take off with it. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll drop the throw. Got an open man. It's Fumagalli. And he will have a Broncos first down. He needed 5. He got it barely as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll try and run for it with Lindsay. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. It's going to be a 2-yard gain, and the Broncos are going to have a new set of downs. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
42. Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, Their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
That one a first down pickup of 8.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Being chased out, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
A loss of 4 yards.
And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
That's to his running back, complete. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now fourth down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? Third down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling is not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Sanders here as they run out of the gun. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Good for a Seahawks. First and 10 at the 28-yard line.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Seahawks 7, Broncos nothing.
On first and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. That one goes for 36 yards. It's a great throw right there. It really showed a lot of confidence in his receiver.
He certainly did. Ball was in the air a long time, but he counted on the adjustment that we saw near the end of the play. As that ball was descending, who was going to come down with it? He counted on his guy, and he gambled correctly.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line.
It's a gain.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run forward with Sanders. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25.
First and 10 at the...
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on third down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long. Wilson on target there to Moore. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm, relax a little bit, and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Fielded in the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They're staring at a 2-touchdown deficit, 14-0 to score as they regroup with 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He dumps it underneath here to Lindsey. Oh, now Lindsey lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Now it's Wilson. And this will be caught by Metcalf for a Seahawk touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. So simple math here in the first half. They've had 3 drives offensively, and they have scored every time, and they've got the lead.
Well, whenever we talk about adjustments, we usually talk about an offense making adjustments, right? This is all about the defense. They've got to figure out some way, somehow to slow them down. Do they blitz a little bit more? Do they play more zone coverage? Right now, they don't know where to go because they're hitting them in every direction.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
You always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
3rd down.
They'll set up to throw. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll find Metcalf. And they'll get this down to the 10. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the 1st down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
Wilson.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
The 9-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 1:55 left to go in the first half of play. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide that they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone.
at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
It's now 2nd and 6.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 29-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down.
First down, Broncos.
They'll look to throw again. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Philip Lindsay, the intended target, but it's going to be second down.
It's 2nd down and 10.
He'll find Lindsay here. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Second down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a third and a couple remaining. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Seahawks have recovered. Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Look. 51 to mine. 51 to mine. Switch out.
Throwing again. Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that's complete to the right side. It's Marshall. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
At the 24-yard line.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Wilson will throw again, letting one go deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
3rd down and 7.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Throwing again here, Wilson. That is caught at the 7. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. To throw again is Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And this offense continues to pour it on.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime. Well, I know we hold off on the halftime update after all. Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And the half will begin with a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. The passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why?
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at the 45. 12 yards there and a first down.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good. Soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4.
Play action. Now Wilson. He's going to rifle. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game. His 3rd on the year. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. And he knocks it through.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Fielded in the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively. They're trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Jordan Brooks with it, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turnover 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
A good pickup there on first as a screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they can actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this.
And he coughed it up. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. You think about it, Charles, this is not a quarterback that's used to running the football a lot. In that time, he was loose with it, had it knocked free.
He always has to think to himself that there's always going to be traffic around because of what you just said. Not that elusive, not going to get to the open field very often. Remember, he's not Lamar Jackson, not Michael Vick back in the day. Always has to protect the football because there's always going to be people around.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. Now Sanders, and they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. On the tackle that time, Dean Lowry. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
At the Broncos' 13-yard line.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Alexander Johnson. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
Hey, baby, this ain't good enough for us.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
Carried by the wide receiver.
It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Reed on the tackle. A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5.
32-yard line.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
A loss of 8 yards.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film section tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll start with a handoff to Sanders. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. So 4th quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that. You still have to possess the ball, move the sticks, and keep the clock moving as well. So they'll run their offense, but yeah, when they have a chance to run it, they'll do that a little bit more.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 6. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D. Check safety, check safety.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Now a throw here to his running back. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. Well, earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Oh, no. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 16. Off of play action, he'll look to throw. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
They are certainly not letting up on the pressure in this one, and oftentimes you hear this expression, all gas, no break from defenses. But in this case, it's the offense still throwing the football up big in the 4th quarter.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And this will be a Seahawks 1st down as the tackle made just shy of the 40.
Sanders.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he's just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
They'll run. It's Sanders. Sanders has the 1st down and much more. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. They said their goal was to win 7 games. They've done that pretty early in the year.
I think it's time for them to elevate that number and really make a big push to finish this season strong.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at EA Sports.